And we're gonna, hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of The Sit Down. And I'm joined by my sister Isabella, who's made countless TikTok cameos, but never on the podcast. And I've been slacking on the podcast lately because starting 2022, I'm only going to bring crazy guests or crazy stories. I don't like the episodes where I ramble and talk about nonsense.
Am I not a crazy guest?
No, you're not.
Should be.
Not at all. The one episode I did with Mom was good. That was a good episode this year. And
I'm going to be a better episode.
Well, we'll see. I'm had some good stories. Let's see if you do. All you have is a dog. And our dog Giorgio's on the podcast as well. Anyway, so I guess we'll cover the best of 2021. And then we'll also cover what's going on in 2022. Maybe we'll start with what's going to go on the rest of 2021 into 2022. So I'm back home. I'm looking like a bum. I need a haircut. Matoni's giving me a haircut. He doesn't like giving me haircuts. He's a good barber. I got long hair.
Yours curly. I never realized. It's got waves in it. I can see.
I got to shave. I need a haircut. It's Christmas time. I'm not going anywhere. Who cares? But you know where I am going on Tuesday after Christmas? I'm going to see Sebastian Maniscalco. Aren't you embarrassed? That was like...
I'm so jealous.
We've seen him before. And guess what? I bought tickets for the whole family to go one year for Christmas. That was a good Christmas gift.
That was a good Christmas gift.
It was hard getting Christmas presents this year for everybody.
Everyone is very hard this year.
You know what I should do? I should see who listens to the podcast and say what I got everybody for Christmas and see which one of my family members.
None of us do.
No one watches the podcast. So you know what? I got my mom. We balled out and we got my mom a sick freaking ring. Like there's 3 siblings. So it's gold, rose gold, and silver, like all like in like one ring. So it's like the 3 of us. Balled out.
It's her mother's.
Felt like a Mr. Beast video. Probably not. It wasn't that expensive.
It wasn't that expensive.
It was. I mean, I paid for it. It was
a lot.
It's more than most people spend on their mother. But got that. We got our dad an iPad, which isn't going to come until February.
Which I'm so mad about, by the way. Because why is it so hard to find an iPad?
Steve Jobs did not die for this.
Steve Jobs did not die for this.
No, he didn't.
Gio, wake up. Be more.
But that's a gift that I didn't agree to, but it was forced on me, so I chipped in for it.
Gift.
Not a good gift. What did I get Mateo? I got him a full send polo because he wears other people's merch but not my merch. And I'm giving him I shouldn't talk what else I'm getting him. You know what? I'm giving him my pistol because I'm spending a lot of time in New York City. You can't have a pistol in New York City. I don't want to get political on the podcast, but fuck New York City politics. That's it.
You can say that.
No, we're not. Don't want to get political. We're not political on the podcast, but we know how I stand. And then I paid for her. She got a speeding ticket. No. Kid gets her license and not a week goes by. Bam, pulled over.
Like a month.
Not 3 weeks go by. Bam, speeding ticket. And then she gets it to a jaywalking ticket. And you know what? I got it because it doesn't make a dent.
I thought that was my birthday gift.
And whatever.
My birthday is coming up.
Her birthday is on Christmas Eve.
It's very important. Best day of the year.
But yeah, so that's what we got everybody for Christmas. What else? So I'm seeing Sebastian. And then on New Year's Eve, we're going to be at the Jericho Terrace in Mineola, New York, in Long Island. And we're going to see Austin Giorgio. Well, I'm going to see Austin Giorgio perform, Uncle Louis Variety Show. And I looked at it's like one of those things you pay for a ticket and it's really expensive, but it's like all you could eat, like pasta stations, hors d'oeuvres, charcuterie boards, meats, cheeses, wines, filet mignon, shrimp like floating dessert trays. They had me at floating dessert trays. There's trays of dessert floating around. I'm there. I'm your guy. So I finally have a suit that I got for last Christmas that I never wore because I had nowhere to go wear a suit for this whole past year. And I went to try it on and it's a little snug. It's a little snug. You buy a suit last year. You know what? It's wintertime. It's hibernation. You're supposed to put a little meat on your bones, but it fits. So we're gonna wear it. It's not gonna fit by the end of the show, though. So I get to see my buddy Austin again, which is exciting. Austin's awesome. If you guys don't follow Austin Giorgio, give him a follow. One of the best voices ever. You won't listen to anybody else. Kid kills it. But anyway, so that's the rest of 2021. 2022, I want to give some podcast episodes away early. We're going to the Meucci Garibaldi Museum in Staten Island. I'm going to have a podcast with the chairman there. We're going to have big guests on that we've had before on again. And I'm only delivering just haymakers of episodes. That's what I want to do in 2021. Haymakers of episodes. We want more prank videos, more YouTube content. And just going to run it up 2022.
We should try those.
Oh, I mean, we could do that for the video.
For the video.
I mean, we were gonna do let's do a separate YouTube video on this. But we're gonna do a YouTube video reviewing some classic Italian snacks. If you guys are watching on the video, we got Baji Perugina, we got Gianduja chocolates. Now there's like 14 chocolates in here.
Well, there's like 12.
And I paid $15 for it. These are so good, but they're mad expensive. Shout out to where the hell did I go? Tino's on Arthur Avenue, and we got some plasmin cookies. If you guys grew up,
classic.
These are the most classic things. They're they call them baby cookies. I'm gonna call them baby cookies
because they melt in your mouth.
I ate them until I'm 25, like I am now, and they're delicious. You dunk them in your coffee.
The lint calendar looks nice.
You got a Lindt chocolate calendar. Get the tree in the back. It's. I love Christmas.
It's Christmas. It doesn't feel like Christmas at all. Can we talk about that for a second? It does not feel like Christmas. It feels
most definitely like Christmas.
It really doesn't. It just snowed for 5 seconds.
Because it's Christmas. Anyways, so that kind of wraps up everything we got going on in the future. I've taken a break. I want to take a break from the podcast for a little bit. We're still setting everything up in New York City, trying to make a mock studio in there so I could have guests over. But who the hell's going to want to come to Queens anyways? It's a long thing. All right.
I'll be in Queens.
You'll be in Queens soon. Nobody cares. So I'm making a top 10 video. You guys could probably check. It's probably already on YouTube as I'm speaking. This podcast is going to drop. It's the 22nd. Now this podcast is going to drop the day after Christmas on that Sunday. So you could give it a listen. So Merry Christmas to everybody. So I'm going to go. This is the last week of 2021. We're going to go my top 10 moments of 2021 for the wooden spoon. Now coming in at number 10. Well, I guess number 10 also correlates with number 1. So we'll skip number 10 for right now.
What?
Here's like 2 moments in the same thing. So I guess number 9, we're going to kick it off with, I had Robert Finaro on the podcast, Eugene Pontecorvo from The Sopranos, which I shot that podcast the same day as I shot the first one I did with Paulie Malignaggi, who's coming up on the list as well. So I had 2 absolute bangers of guests. Gene from the freaking Sopranos. She's watching The Sopranos. I can't spoil it.
Please.
A little spoiler, like he's the one who whacked that dude with the the Snapple bottle. He just had him on as a guest. He was incredible. One of the nicest guys that I've had on the podcast for sure. It's a great episode. The first Sopranos guest on the podcast. Hopefully I'll have more in 2022. So we're going to start reaching out to more people in 2022, get a little aggressive. We finally hit 10K on Insta this year. So that was a big achievement. So that was number 9. Number 8, these are not in any really order. They all are just top 10 moments. Mike Lenoci on the podcast. My first experience with Mike Lenoci was seeing him open for Chris D'Elia a couple of years back. He is a freaking killer of a comedian. He was so funny. I was actually sick when I shot that episode. That's why I was like out of it that whole episode. It was like shitty of an episode because of he did great, but I ruined it a little bit because I was just sick. Just like I was as sick. I can't get into the I was as sick as Joe Gorga was on stage when I saw him do comedy, but that's a whole nother.
That's a different story.
That's a whole nother. Hopefully we get Joe Gorga on the podcast.
Can you tell that story?
One day I'll tell it. So make sure you subscribe for the YouTube channel. Hit the bell notification. It's a good story. We're gonna save it for when I have him on the podcast. We're gonna get Joe Gorga on the podcast. I'm putting it out in the universe. But so Mike Lenoci ended up because we were talking about Zoom comedy shows. He's a real freaking good comedian. If you guys don't know Mike Lenoci, follow him on Instagram, TikTok, all those. But he kills it. He roasted me on my own podcast, and it was hilarious. It was hilarious. Just roasting me out of my half of a podcast studio that's half my office and another half a bedroom. So that was funny. Let's get out of the podcast lanes. How about while I was at San Gennaro, I just ran into Curtis Sliwa, the Republican candidate for mayor in New York City, who ended up losing. But just out of nowhere, like I was doing street interviews at San Gennaro, like we do, and boom, Curtis Sliwa walks in, and I'm interviewing people, asking them who they think invented the telephone. And Curtis Sliwa was just like walking around introducing. People are going crazy over Curtis Sliwa, and I was like, "Yo, let's." I said, "You know who invented the telephone?" He goes, "Let's think about it." Graham Bell. I said, "That's not true. It's Mayuchi." He goes, "Wait a minute, you're kidding me." And then we talked about Columbus a little bit, and he thought there was 4 ships. He goes, "The Nina, the Pinta, the Santa, and the Maria." I go, "There was 3 ships." He goes, "Nah, there's 4 ships." And I was like, "All right, man. There is 3 ships, by the way."
There were 3.
We fact checked it. And so that was crazy. San Gennaro was when that was the one time I've ever been recognized. That was the first time I got recognized outside of like an event that I was participating in.
I wanted to go to that really bad. It looked really fun.
It was very
and
fun.
You saw Lil Uzi Vert and Frank Ocean.
Lil Uzi Vert. Frank Ocean wasn't at the festival, but he was at the Uzi Vert was. I didn't see him though. I saw him like walking around the festival.
And Side Talk. You saw
Side Talk was there. That was cool. But what the fuck was I saying? Oh yeah. So some kid bumps into me. I go, "Oh, I'm sorry," thinking he just ran into me. He goes, "No." He goes, "You're from the Wooden Spoon." And I go, "Yeah, I am." He goes, "That's so cool, man." He goes, "Nice to meet you." And that was the first time I ever got recognized, just because people have come up to me at like in Boston and some of the festivals that we go to, and people are like, "Hey, you're the Wooden Spoon." But like I was advertising that I was going to be there. Like I didn't tell anybody I was going to San Gennaro. I was just like hanging out at the festival, and like just recognized me. That was cool. And I hope I go back to this podcast episode 5 years and be like, "Wow, I'm living it up now." Like as big as Nelk or something. But we got ways to go for that. But that was cool. The whole San Gennaro was cool. All right, let's run it back up. The Columbus Day video that flopped, that I dressed up as fucking Columbus.
I watched the entire thing, by the way. I had to.
It was so hard as dressed as Columbus to get people to talk to you, because people don't talk to people in costumes in New York. If I were to do that shit anywhere else, I don't know if I would have got the attention if I would have did that in like downtown Buffalo.
You want to go do it here tomorrow?
I don't have my Columbus costume. It's in the city.
You have a Santa costume.
I do have a Santa costume. It's a little late to do that video.
Wait, I thought your Columbus costume was here.
No, it's back in the city. I didn't take it. But yeah, so nobody would talk to me. And then we ran into the Jeremy Michael Slickerman, who was living on the street running for president. That was crazy. Actually, funny update on that story. On Facebook, I got a bunch of people that commented like, "Yo, I went to high school with this dude. Glad to know he's still crazy as ever." It was like comments like that, or something. I think I'm almost positive. Let me try to look it up. Someone was like, "Yo, so that's what my cousin's up to," or some shit like that. I gotta pull it up.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah, I'm gonna find it. Just stay patient, guys. See, I hate. Yeah, he's out cold. Yeah, so that was crazy. Had some good conversations. A lot of people don't know the truth about Columbus, and I'm here to spread it. I'm the only Italian page going hard in the paint for Christopher Columbus. I'm the only page that goes hard in the paint. Everybody else, not on my level. Nobody else is going hard in the paint for Columbus as me, other than the Italian American podcast, John Viola, who's the president of the Christopher Columbus Education Society, that I don't know the exact name of. But now my phone's not going to load for me, so I could see that comment. But it was so funny. Hold on, I have to find it.
You know what I found the other day that I wanted to tell you about, because I completely forgot.
To speak up.
I have all of the pictures from Boston, like the people holding the wooden spoon.
Oh, I don't need it. I already made that TikTok.
Oh, I know, but I just like had them and I forgot.
Yeah, another TikTok. Yo, fuck TikTok. They're like. I'm getting shadow banned. It's horrendous. And then I posted a video of me at the range saying, "Spider, spider, you mumbling, stuttering little fuck," and then shooting my pistol, thinking I'm just doing this to piss off TikTok. And it actually showed my video to more people than the previous two, which were
TikTok loves a scandal.
Yeah, but they take down all my shit when it comes to Christopher Columbus or anything political. Which we don't get political in here, but we usually do get political.
For saying you don't get political on here, you've gotten very political on here today.
I know. My followers love me. They know what's up. I'm not going to be able to find the comment. Whatever. So the Columbus video, another top 10 moment. Now let's go back to the podcast. AJ Ferrari. This kid blew me away. Freaking 19-year-old kid. An inspiration. He goes true freshman, wins an NCAA championship in wrestling at Oklahoma State in 197-pound division. Instantly became a huge fan. He's flexing on everybody, talking about a 650-pound deadlift. Kid's a stud. I DM'd him. He got back to me like a week later. He came on the podcast. He told me he listens to the podcast, and so inspiring. He's undefeated right now in his sophomore year. He's going to win another championship. He signed to the WWE, and I had him on my podcast. He's already committed. He's making good money because they're allowed to make money off their names on. Fuck the NCAA. We don't get political. Fuck the NCAA. But he's making good money, as he should, because the kid's a freaking star. I'll try to get him back on after the season this year, after he's going to have another NCAA championship. But if you haven't checked out that episode, definitely check out that episode. That was a good one. What else do I have? Pittsburgh Festival. And I've done the vlog about it. I've done the podcast. We talked about it on the podcast, but seeing Jimmy Big Muscles, I still have his limoncello bottle over there. I don't feel like going to get it though, but we got Jimmy Big Muscles limoncello. It was fun doing a shot of the wooden spoon with him. Pittsburgh was great. We did very good business in Pittsburgh. Maybe we'll be back next year. Maybe we won't. We'll play out our options. We got to see. Because at this point, I think I'm a little bit of a draw. We bring crowds. We've proved this over and over again. We bring crowds. Place we're not going to go. I'm sorry, Youngstown, Ohio. You will not see us ever back again. We're trying to limit ourselves. We want to stay more on the East Coast this year. So maybe we're thinking Rhode Island, Boston again, obviously.
In Florida?
We'll be back in Florida. Maybe Tampa, Rhode Island. We'll see Connecticut, New Jersey, all those great places. Philly, maybe. We got some friends in Philly now. So shout out to the Chin Down podcast, Anthony, Carmine, all those guys. So maybe we'll have a little stint in Philly this year. But going back to Pittsburgh, had a good time with Jimmy Big Muscles. My radiator blew. You guys know that story. Dad fixed it in the parking lot in the hotel. Hilarious. Classic 98. Classic. Rounding it back out. I guess this is the last three. I think that's all of them.
Don't forget 10 that you skipped.
No, I know. That's the number one though. The number two on the list is the St. Anthony's Feast in the north end of Boston, which you were there. You could speak on for that.
I wish I could live there.
If Florida, you guys know my plan. We're going to Florida. I love Florida. Florida's the best place in the world. We're transitioning. We're Buffalo, New York City right now. But if Florida didn't exist, I would move to Boston. Move to Boston in a heartbeat.
My thing is, if it didn't snow, I would move to Boston. That was
the North End is the most fun I've ever had at a festival. No, really, by far.
That was like the one time I went to a festival with you and I didn't want to come home.
I know, it was just everything about it was so much fun. We had friends up there. Shout out to Christian.
So nice.
Shout out to Jay. Shout out to the Boston Guido. Shout out to a lot of people out there. So much fun. We ate at Rabia's Dolce Fumo.
Even like the strangers that we just like, Mom and I met an owner of a sub shop, and we just like exchanged food with him all weekend, and like shirts and spoons, and he would give us food. He was so nice.
Yeah, so we definitely want to come back to St. Anthony's next year.
I will not be able to. Yeah, unfortunately,
at school, but you're gonna come up for St. Anthony's. You're gonna take some time off.
Take the weekend off. Why not? Who needs college?
Take the weekend off. But yeah, so Boston was a freaking blast. We sold out of everything by Saturday night. We were sold out. My dad and I had to go to dollar stores to try to find more wooden spoons to sell. Like that's what we were doing.
And
just to give you guys like
left early because not only were we out of stuff, but it was just so crazy that night.
Yeah, you Bostonians are fucking nuts, man. You guys party all night. It was a blast. Like that's the thing about the festivals. Like I'd love to just go and shoot content and hang out, but it's like you have the booth there, and I should do a behind the scenes because that's like I hear it from a lot of like people that put shows on or like run their businesses, and it's like, yeah, we show you all the fun stuff on social media, but it's so much work. Like there's so much that go into the festivals.
All four of us were always doing.
If you and Mom weren't there, Dad and I wouldn't have been able to do it by ourselves. Like there's 2 cars that we have to drive in from Buffalo. Not only do that, but the whole couple weeks prior is driving shirts back and forth, hour away to our screen printer, hour back. trying to find spoons. Spoons are so scarce. I like bought an entire company out of spoons this year, and I just had them. Yeah, so there's a lot that goes into the festivals. I'd love to do it behind the scenes, but I also don't want to show people how to do it.
Also, one thing that is the worst
Oh,
part
and
about all
not
festivals,
to interrupt, but I'm engraving spoons the entire festival.
you were backed up like over an hour.
Oh, another great thing that is an honorable mention is the Bronx, the Ferragosto. I sold out of spoons. I was talking with Lori, who was helping me there, and I was like, because we didn't have spoons. I couldn't find spoons. I couldn't order them in from anywhere. I had like 60 spoons for the Bronx. I've never told anybody this, but I had 60 spoons. I guarantee we sell out 3 hours in. And like within 4 hours, I was totally out. There was a 4-hour backup on spoons. It was madness.
The worst part about festivals is after they're done, you can't find food anywhere.
Yeah, because they like end at like 10 o'clock at night. So it's tough.
Boston ended at what?
11. But Boston was good because we were across the street from a pizza trailer. I still haven't done the Boston vlog. I think I'm gonna drop it early next year as kind of like what's gonna happen. And I think I'm gonna, because there's so much content to go through. I was at San Gennaro. I was at San Gennaro, and then everything that happened this year, going to Columbus in November, then Jupiter, and then everything. I just hadn't had time to edit this vlog, so I might even just pay someone to do it because there's so much great content that I think I'll drop it like at the beginning. Maybe I'll drop it like the beginning of festival season next year, just so people know what they're in store for. Festival season is whenever I say it starts. Usually it's July to September, and then it bleeds into October, November. But I think this year we're starting and ending earlier. So I'd like to you know what? I take that back because I want to go back to Jupiter, Florida, because that was so much fun.
You go to Jupiter, I'll be there.
So I think we're gonna handpick bigger festivals and maybe do fewer festivals and just do the big ones. But I think as of right now, in my mind, I want to go to Tampa in April. So that might be
April. I'll be there.
April and Tampa. That's a big one.
Well, that's very early.
And then we'll take a break until like July, and then do like Newton. I'd love to go back to Massachusetts, Newton and Nonantham, and see my Kista chivels and my mushes out there. That was so much fun. I want to vlog at all these places too, but there's no. I need to like. For me to like shoot a great vlog at these things, I would have to have a whole camera crew.
I know.
Like it's so hard.
I was doing what I could at Boston,
but yeah, so even busy. That, it's like you get busy and you're there for business. And I know there's a business in content, but it's like so if anybody ever wants to work at the camera and just hang out all weekend, we'll feed you and pay you very minimal. But if you ever want to hang out,
tell me about it.
Hit me up if you're in Boston next year, Jupiter, Florida, Tampa, New York City, which we have people in New York, New Jersey, Philly. If you want to like volunteer, I'll write you great letters of recommendation. I can write a great letter of recommendation. We will feed you. We'll give you merch. No, but I would pay for the weekend videotape and vlog, but I need you there the whole time and the camera rolling. And we have the camera and the equipment, so that's not a problem either. But yeah, I would totally. Actually, that's something we should probably look into.
Camera crew.
A whole camera, or just one person.
We would draw too, though.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing too, because if you look, we went to San Gennaro and I was at Little Mo Mozzarella's booth, and there's side talks there. You draw the crowd. He had, which I'm gonna do this too. He had a speaker and a mic hooked up to it, and he was like, "How you doing?"
Yeah.
To everyone walking by, and it was like, "That's fucking great!" Like a great, like I'm picking up all these great ideas. Which San Gennaro, look out, we might do that next year too. I don't know if we can handle that.
Go to that one.
11 days is a long time to be in Little Italy, but luckily we've made some friends out there, and maybe we could do it. So we'll see. But yeah, Boston definitely number 2. Number 1, my top moment of 2021 was watching Italy win the Euro Cup in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn. The most Italian neighborhood, one of the most Italian neighborhoods in New York City is Bensonhurst, Brooklyn. We were at Cafe Sportivo. And people were, I mean, you guys have seen the video, like they've went viral before. TikTok's taking them down. They're that crazy. Because you know why? Some guys, they called the queen, they called the queen, they called the queen, and they called the queen, yeah, you know, we bleeped it too. We bleeped it and they still took it down. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do it right now. You're going to go on my TikTok right now. It's the day after Christmas. Go on the Wooden Spoon Media TikTok, and we're unbleeped, uncensored.
That'll be
I'm gonna do it
real quick.
I know it will be, but hopefully, maybe you know what? Maybe you know what we'll do. Maybe we'll start a Patreon. Maybe we'll start a you know, maybe with the Wooden Spoon OnlyFans, and we'll put all the content that you see, and maybe we'll charge like $1 a month for it, just so we can have somewhere to put it. You guys keep getting censored. We keep getting taken down. It'd be cool to start like a whole creator like culture and like one OnlyFans or one Patreon and just split the money evenly.
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool. Just because there's so many people that get and getting FaceTime. There's so many people that get censored and it's brutal. But yeah, so number one moment, Italy winning the Euro Cup. People went crazy. Somebody threw a like an air horn and it hit me in the fucking head.
Wait, really?
It hurt
I didn't
so
know
bad.
this.
I got like pissed for a second, but then everyone was sober. I was like, I gotta suck it up with fireworks. Like everything was just crazy. It was just crazy. It was so much fun. So much fun. I was gonna send a text real quick. And Sarud, so disrespectful.
So disrespectful.
So that was my top moment of 2021. I think I had so much fun. We were there the whole time in the streets. Paulie, that's where I first met Paulie Malignaggi. I had him on the podcast, and then all of a sudden I see a guy on a Verizon band that people have got kicked off before, just pouring champagne on himself on the crowd. I go, hey, it looks like Paulie Malignaggi. And I go, holy shit, it's Paulie Malignaggi. And then he came on. He said, yo, Paulie, this is Nico from the Wooden Spoon. Because I sent him spoons, and he was very, very, very grateful about the spoons I sent him. He goes, oh, yeah. He gave me a kiss on the cheek, hugged me. He was like, Paulie's the nicest guy in the world. And he's a fucking killer. That dude's got hands. He beat the shit out of Corey B in celebrity boxing. I'd like to see him fight Connor. I think he could fight Connor in boxing. I'd like to see Paulie do some more work. But what's your top moment of 2021?
Top moment of 2021. I don't know. I really love just like all of Boston weekend.
Boston was fun.
Because I went to what festival did I go with you to?
Lewiston, Art Fest.
No.
Pittsburgh last year.
Pittsburgh. I'm not gonna lie. I hated it. I didn't. But like from the start, like when you told me,
yo, Pittsburgh's
like,
fucking
when Mom
crazy.
was like, "We're all going to Pittsburgh," I was like, "I don't want to." And it was okay, but I just couldn't wait to get home. And then we went to Boston, and I was like, I don't want to go home.
Yeah, I know.
Simple.
It's fun. I just got a message from Tessa Del Zobo, who we've had the podcast a year ago today. We had her on the. I did a podcast, which I should have hit her up while I'm home. Maybe I'll try to get Tessa on the podcast real quick.
Yeah.
Her and her husband, Nick Roth from Ghost, all those Ghost.
Which
shows.
Was.
I think I seen him at the gym. Did I tell you that?
No.
I have to ask her, but
Nico.
Her husband's a legit, like he's verified on Instagram. He's like a ghost hunter, like professional ghost hunter. And I seen him a lot. And I seen somebody at the gym. I go, that looks like Nick Groff. And then like I passed him in the lock. I was going in the locker room. He's coming out. I go, that was totally Nick Groff. So I think I seen him at the gym.
When I tell you, I was 11 years old watching Paranormal Lockdown, where he would go into a haunted building for 48 hours. He would lock himself in. I loved that show. And then when you were talking about Tessa, and I went on her Instagram and I was like, oh my God, she married Nick Groff. Yeah,
Tessa's the best. You guys got to follow Tessa. She's a medium. She's incredible. The nicest person. Absolutely incredible. That's like the thing about like the meeting. Like that's why it's so hard to make a list of top 10, because I've met so many cool people and had so many great guests on the podcast. It's hard to like. And that's like what I say about like every time like I have a guest on, like this is a great episode. Like I'm not shitting you. Like they're great people. I only have great people on the podcast. Like if I ever had somebody come on the podcast and they were an asshole, I just wouldn't air the episode, or I would just air clips of it and put it on Instagram saying they were assholes. But I haven't had that yet. Thank God. Like let's break down like some of the guests that I've had on in 2021.
I think we should talk about some of your cooking videos.
Oh yeah, which are like one of the most popular videos I have on my YouTube is the Zeppole video. But okay, here are my podcast guests from 2021. So it starts off with the Boston Guido, Christian from Boston that owns Rabius, Rosaria from Growing Up Italian, who is awesome. I love Rosaria. Jackie Neese, who I've become really good friends with, and we've shot tons of content together. You're not listening?
I just got an email from Miami. Hold on. I'm so sorry.
Chris Ruggiero, Robert Fanaro, Peter Legiacono, who's the president of the Buffalo Italian Federation, Mike Linoci, Paulie Malignaggi, Donato Di Martis, who owns Virtuous Boxing, AJ Ferrari, my mom, Jimmy Palumbo, who I've gotten close with, actor Jimmy Palumbo, the Italian restaurant episodes with Frankie, and Yeah, on Patty and Patty. Did you watch that episode, Patty and
I did
Patty?
not.
They're amazing. We're gonna shoot some content with them too. Hopefully, we get an in-person interview. Raiders of the Lost podcast.
I thought that was my admissions decision, and it wasn't.
Oh, great.
I got very, very scared. I'm so sorry. I'm back.
John Viola, like all my guests, like that's another like top moment. Filming like a ton of content with like Jackie, hanging out with Mike Marino.
You know what I want to do when I go to the city? I want us to like film crazy videos.
I asked you to do that, and you said no, and it's gonna be cold.
Isn't it always cold? Okay, I mean, we're still gonna go do stuff.
But yeah, so hopefully we'll like double the amount of podcasts we can do with crazy guests. I want to have some interesting episodes. See, it's hard to like want to go a route of being like super Italian and like doing history and like learning and stuff, and then also like flipping it over and getting roasted by like a comedian.
I need to tell you this. Kennedy came over the other day to bring me my pretzels, right? And she saw it on the table, and she saw the chocolates too, and she was like, "What are those?" And I was like, "That's Baji, that's Gianduia, and that's a panettone." She was like, "What?" I was like, "It's panettone." She's like, "I don't understand." And I was like, "It's like an Italian cake. Those are Italian chocolates." She's like,
Dang.
"Well, I'm Italian, and I don't understand how you're so Italian." And I was like,
There's levels to this shit.
I don't know what that means. She's like, "Well, like I'm Italian, but I'm not that Italian." And I was like,
dude. And that's the thing with like where we live in, like outside Buffalo, Niagara Falls, everything's gonna get in trouble for things. Everything's so whitewashed.
"There's
It's
a
like
coyote in the backyard.
water
There's a
down.
coyote in the backyard."
No shit.
Yes, there is. It just ran across the field. Oh my god, it's going in. It's going in. It just ran into the.
See, that's what you get when you do a podcast outside of Buffalo, New York, and you're in the boonies. You get coyotes running the backyard. Okay, but that's it. I'm calling the end of the podcast. I'm tired. No.
We're gonna film the video.
We're gonna do some more YouTube content, and so that should be fun. So, guys, I could not urge you enough. Follow wherever you're listening to this podcast. Subscribe to the YouTube. That's the thing I'm gonna focus on the most in 2022 is the Wooden Spoon YouTube channel. Give me ideas for pranks.
Follow me on Instagram.
Don't do that.
Follow
Follow the
me.
Wooden Spoon Media on Instagram. Over 10,000 followers. Follow us on TikTok. We're just about to hit 64,000 followers on TikTok. That's kind of crazy. That's a lot of people.
It is.
I remember when
It's like a lot of people, Nico.
64. That's like filling up an arena 5 times. It's like filling up Madison Square Garden 4 to 5 times.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, thank you guys so much for an awesome 2021. Excited to go forward in 2022. Get your merch at thewoodenspoonstore.com. You think you can still use code Christmas for 15% off? We'll let that run through the new year. If you last minute Christmas gifts, they probably won't come in time. Well, you're listening to this after Christmas anyway, so you fucked up. But woodenspoonstore.com, use code Christmas, 15% off. Get your other merch. These hoodies are dope. I wear this hoodie all the time. It's embroidered. It's the Golden Spoon too. So actually, you can't even get this hoodie because I only wear the Golden Spoon stuff for myself. I should make it. Oh, NFT project launching. Link in the description. Get ready for the Gobo Scartalato, whatever the fuck his name is, NFT. Send it to a friend. You cannot buy this for yourself. I urge you. It's bad luck. But send this to your friend. So it's a little keychain guy, a little hunchback with the horn. Send it to your friend. So they will have good luck in the new year in their crypto, in their investing, anything they want. We're just trying new avenues. I want to spread the culture into the NFT world, and I think we're the brand to do it. So it's just about getting the word out there. The Italian crypto king, maybe, is what they'll call me. Like an NFT, that Italian FT. It works. Italian FT. So yeah, you guys can just call me that.
Don't call him.
So get your.
Actually, you know what he really likes being called?
There's only 10,000 of them, so you get them now, and we'll drop another one once those all sell out. I'm saying like that they're gonna sell out, but who knows? We could catch a break on the crypto universe. It's on OpenSea.io. There's links for it all over the place, so check it out and let me know what your top moment of 2021 was, personally or for our content. And we'll see you guys in the new year. Ciao. And how do you say Happy New Year? See, I say whitewashed, and then I become whitewashed.
Say bye, Gio.
No, there's a certain phrase you're supposed to say for Happy New Year in Italian.
My dog is so cute.
We're gonna edit this part out. Buona festa anno. Feliz anno nuovo. That's it. Feliz anno nuovo.
Say bye, Gio. Say bye.
Ciao, ciao.